Welcome to our new FFCC series, Understanding Your Score. This is a series that we hope will expand your knowledge of the judging sheets and how to maximize your shows and choreography to produce the best outcome for your season. Our first video will be all about the movement sheets. In the FFCC, we utilize the judging sheets that WGI has provided to all circuit partners. It is important to know what sheet your group is being scored on so you can utilize those as you begin to choreograph and design your show. There are 5 different sheets you could be scored on, and these are the groups that utilize each sheet. The first sheet is the WGI Regional A sheet. Our FFCC Cadet Novice, Cadet, and B class groups are evaluated on this sheet. The second is the WGI A class sheet. This sheet is utilized for FFCC's Scholastic AAA, AA, A, and Independent A-class units only. The third sheet is the Open class sheet, which both FFCC Scholastic and Independent Open groups are scored on. Finally, the last 2 sheets are Scholastic World and Independent World. These are directly used for those 2 specific groups in the FFCC as stated. Although the look of all 5 of the sheets looks similar, it is important to really dive deeper into your specific sheet as they pertain to the paradigm of each class and have specific requirements that differ from each other. As we explore each class, we see that WGI has given specific paradigms of what the class should be comprised of in the movement category. Regional A class focuses on introductory and beginning level skills and should lead to high excellence through the student's achievement. A-class sheets follow the same paradigm verbiage, with the only change being that they are expected to demonstrate and comprise their show with the intermediate level skills. The technique is still expected to be there to lead to an achievement of excellence. It is important that you demonstrate a strong level of technique in these classes to set your students up for success and not overwrite, which could lead to less points being rewarded. As we move into open class, the sheets explain that we should start seeing movement that is comprised of intermediate to some advanced levels of vocabulary. Scholastic World sheets indicate demonstrations of advanced to standard setting levels within their vocabulary skills and excellence. Lastly, Independent World, where we have our most mature performers, are comprising their movement book into a virtuosic standard and creating physical and mental capabilities that might not be seen from a Scholastic member. As all of these paradigms increase in what is expected from the designer and performer, one thing stays the same on all the sheets, and that is stylistic diversity is to be encouraged with all choices given equal potential for success. This means your stylistic choice, such as modern, ballet, hip-hop, jazz, etc., all have a place within our Winter Guard shows, but how you utilize it, train it, and express it will be dependent on how well it scores comparatively on the sheets. As we move into the next slides, we will see how the judges use their sheets to determine a score and movement. The first part of your score regarding the movement caption is vocabulary. Vocabulary is the entirety of what the performer is asked to do from a movement perspective. This includes the body as it partners with the equipment. This section pertains to many different elements. The first is variety of skills, such as what you are exploring, an example, turns, leaps, jumps, etc. Range is also looked at as far as the multiple approaches and skills in combination with each other. With our A-class sheets, both regional and A-class, the training should be evident and compatible with the class and group. If the training is compatible and beyond the expectations of the class sheets due to how well the students are achieving the given choreography, this is when you will be rewarded and looked at for a possible promotion. If students are struggling, the vocabulary may need to be revisited to ensure success for the students and team. The judges will look into the criteria boxes of each point of comparison located in the gray boxes down the middle. These comparisons guide the judges in determining where your guard falls and in comparison with the other groups in your class at that show. They will then move to the top of the sheet where they will utilize the boxes from 1 to 5. The boxes at the top will help to guide the judges in assigning a specific number, which will then be put down as your vocabulary score and soon calculated in to determine your overall movement score. The second part of your score regarding the movement caption is excellence. Excellence is the achievement of all the qualities in the vocabulary that reflects the performer's depth of training. This achievement can only be recognized through the choreographic display of movement and equipment. In that regard, the choreographed vocabulary becomes the showcase in which the performers demonstrate their skills. The measure for excellence is always based upon the fundamentals, principles, and effort qualities demonstrated within each move. The judges will utilize the criteria boxes of each point of comparison, located again in the gray boxes down the middle, to determine where your guard falls in comparison with the other groups in your class at that show. With regards to your excellence score, this is where the judge will be able to note if your group has the training to support what you are asking them to do, as well as their full understanding of range and body quality that is needed to achieve in the class. They will then move to the top of the sheet as they did with vocabulary to determine a box from 1 to 5 that your group fell in. The boxes at the top will help to guide the judges in assigning a specific number, which will be put down as your excellence score and calculated along with the vocabulary score to determine your overall movement score for that particular show. When building your vocabulary, these are just a few skills that can be started with your members as you are creating your show with movement in mind. All these skills can be achieved in every class, but remember, judges are looking at who contained the greatest vocabulary and who performed it best. A guard that can go out at the beginning of the season with 45 seconds of choreography and achieve their skills could score better than a group that may have an entire show but with little to no training to help support the members. Training of these skills are of the utmost importance in all classes, and the judges are taught to see the training each group possesses through what you have choreographed and given them. A blended effort with movement and equipment can help in being rewarded additionally as opposed to the just movement standalone sequences. All movement can be qualified in terms of the essential efforts of space, time, weight, flow of energy, and rhythm. Inherent in these is the control of breath. Through the gradation or degrees of these efforts, dynamics are then created within each phrase. The degree of variation in each of these efforts considered in totality comprise your dynamic range. This learned skill is credited in both vocabulary and excellence and manifests itself upstairs in the sheets through enhanced musicality. An example you might hear on your tape speaking about range could sound something like this. The balance responsibility and change in shape through the spine as they manipulate the saber under the leg, which continues to broaden the range of the vocabulary as you continue to blend body and equipment. Here, we see taking a piece of equipment through the body is expanding our dynamic range in the vocabulary as the blend of body and equipment is evident in the choreographic choices. There are many ways to increase your dynamic range within the show. What you choose to use and how it works in your show are all up to your creative choreography. As you continue your growth and self-knowledge with these sheets and plan for your future members, please feel free to refer to these sites that link to the exact verbiage of the sheets, as well as frequently asked questions that can help you understand terminology that might need further clarification. Throughout the process, feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. Choreographing and designing to the sheets can be a process, but it truly does take a lot of the questions out of what is rewarded and how to gear your thinking. Thanks for watching today and look forward to more future learning with the FFCC.